On the first day of work, the female caregiver was terrified by the boss. The man in front of her let out a piercing scream.
Hello, Louisa Clark. I'm Will Trainer. You appear to have a problem with your skirt.
Facing the humiliation from the man, Louisa felt embarrassed. Unfortunately, this man was the patient she needed to care for. William was a super wealthy man and his life was once bright. He not only had endless wealth but also a handsome face. However, a sudden accident left him paralyzed. The drastic change made him sensitive and fragile, feeling that the whole world owed him. He always treated people around him terribly. Before coming here, Louisa knew that this wealthy man had a bad temper and had already driven away several caregivers. She was the fourth one. Facing the difficulty of dealing with the high-maintenance William, she also wanted to leave. However, her financial situation didn't allow it. Her father had just lost his job, her mother had to take care of her sick grandfather full-time, and her sister had to take care of her newborn baby. Their family relied on her alone for financial support. So, Louisa couldn't act rashly. Louisa found that her work contract was for half a year, with only a few rules, and most things were handled by Dr. Nathan. She didn't even have to help with eating and going to the bathroom.
What am I here for?
To cheer him up, I guess.
Louisa could only try to start a conversation with William, but he seemed uninterested in anything and appeared like a soulless body. He didn't want to talk more with Louisa, and his empty gaze made him seem cold and unfeeling. On the first day, Louisa had to sit outside and look at the insignificant work handbook. When she went outside to eat a sandwich, she realized they lived in a grand castle with a vast green estate behind it. She felt that William must be so lonely and desperate that he couldn't appreciate the beautiful scenery. From then on, Louisa started to greet William enthusiastically every morning and dressed in unique outfits to cheer him up. She even helped him eat, though she often messed up. She still tried to liven up the atmosphere. However, William only seemed distant, either self-mocking or sarcastic about Louisa's peculiar dress. It felt like she was not a caregiver but a punching bag. Every day felt like decades. Louisa could only hope that the half-year contract would pass quickly. One day, two visitors came to the castle. They were William's best friend and his girlfriend. But that was all before William became paralyzed. After his paralysis, the two of them got together. They came to inform William that they were getting married soon. William didn't shout at them or drive them away, but instead accepted everything calmly with a blank look in his eyes. No one knew the storm brewing inside him. Louisa happened to witness the scene when she came to work. William's ex-girlfriend warned Louisa.
You know, you can only help someone who actually wants to be helped.
After the two left, the sound of breaking glass came from William's room. Louisa rushed to check and found that he had knocked over a photo of him and his ex-girlfriend, shattering the frame glass on the ground. Louisa felt that these memories might still be meaningful, so she patiently repaired the photo with glue. However, William responded with mockery towards Louisa, calling her useless and about to leave. As he wanted to be left alone in silence, Louisa, for the first time, didn't tolerate his behavior and spoke up.
Your friends got the shitty treatment, fine, they deserved it. I'm just trying to do my job as best I can. So it would be really nice if you didn't try and make my life as miserable as you apparently make everyone else's.
And what if I said I didn't want you here?
I'm not employed by you. I'm employed by your mother.
Since William became paralyzed, it was the first time someone had fought back against him like this. Louisa's honesty and retaliation finally silenced William. He finally realized that his behavior had seriously hurt the people around him, especially those who genuinely cared for him. As he looked at the rainy scene outside the window, William fell into deep thought. One day, William suddenly invited Louisa to watch a movie together. Actually, William had already seen the movie countless times. During the movie, William hardly looked at the screen but glanced at Louisa to observe her reactions, just like me recommending a movie to a friend. In the end of the movie, the male protagonist sacrificed himself. Louisa found it difficult to accept, but still thought it was a good movie. With William's closed-off heart slowly opening, they took a stroll in the estate and William learned about Louisa's current situation. Her whole family depended on her. If William had a free spirit trapped in his body, then Louisa had a free body but was trapped in a small room. William told her that there is more beauty in the world beyond what she had seen. He hoped that one day Louisa would go out and see the vast outside world. Every half year, William had to go to the hospital for a checkup. Louisa asked Nathan if William's condition had improved.
He's not going to get better.
Nathan told her that it was a spinal cord injury and he would spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. Even a simple pneumonia could take him away. Louisa looked at William being examined inside and couldn't imagine how much despair his frail body contained. Winter arrived and the entire castle was covered in snow. Louisa suddenly noticed that William was extremely weak. She panicked and called Nathan for help. Nathan took off William's clothes and used a wet towel and a fan to cool him down. At that moment, Louisa noticed the scars on his wrist, the marks of a desperate moment when he had tried to end his life. Nathan told Louisa that William couldn't sweat on his own, which meant he could suffer from heat stroke even in the winter. After William's body temperature had stabilized, Louisa still stayed by his side, worried and keeping watch. During this time, she found videos of William where he appeared carefree and taking part in various thrilling adventures. He was meant to live a wonderful life, but now he was confined to his bed, unable to move. When William finally woke up safely, Louisa decided it was time for her to leave.
Stay. Tell me something good.
Having agreed to stay, Louisa started singing a song, saying that when she had nightmares, her father would sing it to her. She loved bumblebee pattern tights with black and yellow stripes cut into sections. But she couldn't find the right size anymore now that she was grown up. Louisa animatedly shared childhood stories, and in the story, William fell into a warm dream once again. William didn't understand why Louisa always wore flamboyant clothes, so she told him that she had once gone to college but had to give up her favorite fashion design major to support her family. William advised her to go out and see the world in her most beautiful years rather than living in a messy household. Louisa said before he could teach her a lesson, he better shave off his messy beard. William didn't back down. He let Louisa shave his beard for him. Louisa never expected to find such a handsome face hidden beneath William's beard. They smiled at each other, never feeling happier. Louisa initially thought that William would start to pick himself up from that point on, but she accidentally learned the reason behind her 6-month contract. William had decided to have an assisted death within 6 months. William's mother couldn't believe that he was starting to recover and couldn't understand why his intentions hadn't changed. Remembering the horrifying scars on William's wrist, Louisa decided she needed to do something to change his mind. There is no substitute for the original movie. A good film is worth watching it yourself. But you don't know where you can watch these movies? Use Superbox. With Superbox, you can access all live TV channels in 4K quality. It also provides access to over 13,000 movies and series, and updates with the newest content very often. The total cost for one of these is 2 months of your cable bill. Then you never have to pay fees or bills ever again. Click the link in my bio and use my code to get it at a better price.